Hey everybody, how are you? Do me a favor before we get started. I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. So we're going to talk about the stock market and what has the mainstream media attention, which is the stock market. So I find it interesting that there was a nationwide protest out of all 50 states, and this didn't really get a lot of media attention. In fact, a lot of people don't even know about the protests. And so I was wondering why that didn't get as much attention as, and then when you look at what happened with George Floyd, that got a lot of attention. And someone was telling me it's because of the difference in the presidency. But it's just real interesting to see how much control media actually has. I mean, there are people rising up in all 50 states, and it doesn't even get coverage. I saw like a little bit of it, but not the coverage that it should have gotten. So, do you even know about the protests that happened? Put in a comment yes or no. Yes or no. All right, so we're going to go back to talking about what is going on in the stock market. This has the headlines: stocks entering a bear market territory. So, the Dow is down 900 points as of today. There is a fear of global recession. Trump is telling businesses to hang tough. The S&P 500 is down 2%. It's lingering around 49.80. Once it hits 49.15, then we are officially in a bear market. So a bear market is defined as a 20% decline. So we're not too far away. We are in the bear market territory. So the S&P 500 is in its worst start to any presidential term. As you know, this is because of the tariffs. And I see what Trump is doing, actually. So the bear market territory, retirees are terrified. So people who are ready to retire and they don't have much time left are some are terrified. There are growing concerns of a recession, and Trump advisors are downplaying fears of a global recession. So, as far as all of this goes, the Congress actually has the power over the tariffs. So, it's not actually the president. The president has superseded the Congress and has initiated these tariffs. But the bottom line is that the Congress has the power over the tariffs, and the Congress has the power to stop this if they decide to do so. All right. So Trump has recently put a 17% tariff on Israel, which could result in 18 to 26,000 people losing their jobs. All right. So this is what is currently going on. We are in bear market territory. So what's happening right now is evidence on how important it is to diversify. Um, Most people do not just depend on one thing. So you have your stocks, real estate, business, and crypto. But it is interesting to see how fragile the stock market is. So if we decide we're going to do tariffs, then the stock market goes crazy. And then it also reacts to things like wars and things like that. So just seeing how fragile the stock market is, it tells you how important real estate is, how important business is. So you're not just putting all your eggs in one basket. However, the stock market is a great wealth building tool. There's about 50% of the population that is not in the stock market at all. And that's not surprising because it's not taught in the school system. Basically, you have to learn this on your own, or you get it from family, right? And so, how is family going to teach it to you when they're not doing it? So, it's really interesting. About 50% of the population is not in the stock market. So, but what's going on right now, it does show you how important it is to diversify. So, you're not just going to have all your money in stocks and it's blowing with the wind, wherever the wind is blowing, um, that's blowing. So, real estate is important. It's a hard asset. Business is important. Crypto is important as well. And then stocks are still important, despite what it's doing now. It's not going to be this way forever, but it does show you how important it is to diversify. So, just to recap, the Dow is down 900 points. There is a fear of a global recession for some people. Other people could care less. There are more important things out here um, for some people, right? Trump is telling businesses to hang tough. S&P 500 is down 2%. Bear market is defined as a 20% decline. As of today, it's at around 49.80. Once it hits below 49.15, we are officially in a bear market. So we're not too far away. And then this is the worst start to any presidential term when it comes to the S&P 500. But I do see what he's doing though. All right, so bear market territory. Some retirees are terrified, especially if they are at the end of their journey as far as work goes. Maybe they've been working 20, 30, 40 years already, and they happen to be in the stock market. And especially if they're putting all of their money in the stock market and they're watching their money dwindle, you would be terrified if you have all your eggs in one basket. But if you diversify, it really wouldn't concern you as much. Also, if you have time left in the workforce, it wouldn't concern you as much. And also, if you're familiar with how the stock market works, how a bear market will eventually result in a bull market. So it goes in waves. It wouldn't concern you that much. So having that trio, diversification, knowledge of how the stock market works, and then a little bit more time in the job force, or you could replace that job with some kind of business. Right? So that trio is pretty important. There are growing concerns of a recession. This has mainstream media attention. Trump advisors are downplaying the fears of global recession. And then again, the Congress has the power over the tariffs. It's not the president. And so the Congress, they have the power to stop this whenever they get ready, if they choose to. They may see what he is doing also, and they may be looking for that final result at the expense of the people, of course. All right. So Trump has recently put a 17% tariff on Israel, which could result in 18 to 20,000 people losing their jobs. Again, diversification is important. Stocks, real estate, business, crypto. So speaking of real estate, if you are interested in real estate, you would like to buy property now or in the future, check out this wait list. Join the wait list for the real estate group where you will be with a community of like-minded people. Also, check out the hat collection that will be in the link below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.